As I begin, let me invite everyone into some deep waters with me. I want you to spend a few moments pondering this question. Who are you becoming? I'll frame my story and maybe ours with these three words: impact, meaning, and legacy. I think these three words probably define the experience each of us have had since coming to Wharton. Coming here seeking to have outsized impact on the world. Over the years, seeking meaning to our work, to our lives, and now starting to ask, what's the legacy that I will leave behind? Here's how this became real for me. When I graduated, I went into investment banking to have impact on the strategic and the financial viability of my clients. But I was doing this for my own selfish purposes. Deal flow, client wins, bigger bonuses paid, but it was all around the wrong scorecard. It was selfish ambition wearing the cloak of impact. And the culmination of this misguided mindset was that hardest year of my life. Around our 10-year reunion, I went through the failure of a 20-year marriage, relocation away from my 4 kids, and the loss of that job I had relocated for. In the wreckage, I sat still for the first time in years. And in the silence, I started asking myself deeper questions about identity and meaning. And I came to just truly feel that we are created by God from love to be loved and to go love. And if God came here in the person of Jesus, by his own words, not to be served, but to serve, then how could I live any differently? Now, all of you recognize at this point that I look at the world through a Christian lens, but you don't have to share that perspective to find value in what I have to share. Because my realization back then was that meaning points outward. And it changed my ambition from being about my success to being, how can I serve? How can I bless those around me? And this reorientation was in itself a blessing for me. Renewed career success, deeper presence with my children, and now 13 years and counting. Beautiful marriage to this woman right here. As I went about exploring what it is to have meaning, I kept meeting people who were successful by every visible measure, but suffering with a quiet discontent. Productive, but not at peace. Accomplished, but not whole. And engaged, but not connected. In some way I felt this way myself. The reorientation had borne fruit for me, but there was something inside me that was still not yet formed, the question not yet answered. So I stepped away from my corporate career. I left that to focus my efforts on how can I actually help others with connection and spiritual formation. Because as I've gone along, one of the things I've come to believe is one of the greatest killers of people, and especially men, it's not heart disease, it's not stroke, it's not diabetes, it's isolation. And so to address that on a deeply personal and individual basis, I formed a ministry that's focused on bringing people into cohorts for togetherness, for living life deeply in community, and for guiding them through spiritual formation, helping them understand a personal relationship with God and helping them to become who God lovingly designed them to be. Now, some of you know that also during this joyful season, I've been doing ultra-endurance cycling. 200-mile, 500-mile nonstop events, 3rd place at the World Championships in 2023. And what I found through these experiences is that the same grit and presence and faith that gets us through the challenges we choose, it also gets us through the challenges we don't choose. See, formation shows up in everything that you are. That brings me to legacy. Some of you will hear the word legacy and think about the company formed or the building named after you. Others will hear legacy and think about the indelible imprint left on the lives of those around you. But nothing is left behind that isn't first formed within. So impact asks what we do. Meaning asks why we do it. But legacy, the lasting imprint of our lives, asks, who are we becoming? Not what's my job, not how successful is my company, but within my spirit, who am I becoming? Because the same intentionality you brought to your career deserves to be brought to your soul. So since we're here at Wharton, I'm going to leave you with a homework assignment. Right? Identify one daily practice, be it reflection, meditation, prayer. Choose one. Start it tomorrow and ask yourself, who am I becoming? Because that answer lived out daily, that's your legacy. Thanks.